to you. I want to use that analogy because it's exactly the same in your business context. There are many businesses out there. There are many people who are looking for eyeballs or share of throat or share of wallet. And part of what you need to do as a business owner is to differentiate. In effect, is to ask the question, what can my business do that no other business can do and that the market will want for it to do? And so the first thing is this ability to think about differentiation. Because in effect, what you're trying to do is to sell products or services in a market, and the way to do it is to be different. And so that leads me to the second part, Ashraf, which is about how do you perhaps market your business differently? And there's a lot of hype around how we're able to market. And so I want to break it down very quickly into three areas. The one is that there's traditional marketing, right? It's how business was done back in the day, that you'd stand outside the door of your shop and ask people to come into the shop. And you're starting to realize that that's becoming irrelevant. We've got to think more deeply about how do we get people to know about our business and then to be attracted to the product or service that we're selling. And digital marketing is a powerful way to be able to do that. And so let's break down digital marketing. There are two ways, right? The one is organic marketing. In effect, creating a website, creating a Facebook page, creating an Instagram page, and then hoping that people come to that page. The reality is it's probably going to be your friends or family, and beyond that, it's difficult to attract more traffic into that page. And so that leads you to the second part of digital marketing, which is paid digital marketing. In effect, it's paying for your ability to position your business into the external marketplace. And I'll touch today, and maybe next week we can go to some of the others, on two forms of paid digital marketing. The first one is to appreciate that social digital marketing is free, right? It's organic. You use your social media platforms to market your business. The second, which is the paid component, is to be able to pay a service provider, and I'll touch on three today, Google, Facebook, or Instagram, to be able to market your business. And maybe for today's session, let's touch on one of those. Let's touch on Google. Google gives you three options in terms of how you can market your business. The first one is using search engine optimization. Big word, what does it mean? In effect, if I'm looking for samosas and I type in samosas, will your website come first on my page? And you can do that in one of two ways. You can pay for certain words that when I type samosas in Johannesburg or in Greenside, that my page comes top. Or you can actually pay for an advert, samosas in Greenside. So that's the one way. The second way is for you to use what we would call pay-per-click. So you would advertise, and if somebody clicks on that advert, then obviously you would pay Google. So maybe let's use Google only for today because of the time, is the ability to be able to say Google gives you the opportunity to be able to position your brand out there. And I wanted to touch on one element of digital marketing today because I think as business owners, we've got to be out there. And the only way to be out there is to think differently, is to differentiate, is to be able to position your business in a different context, in a different way. And part of the success of many businesses is one, differentiation, but two, the way in which we market. And maybe we can continue down the line in terms of other forms of digital marketing, but also how do you get your message viral? How do you get out there in such a way that people get to know about you?
Well, I think you're spot on, and I mean, just to show you, just to pick up on the issue of digital marketing in innovative ways, right? Yesterday when we spoke, I picked out a 1-minute clip of what you said, right, Abdullah, and posted it on my Twitter feed, as you're well aware of, and just to tell people what's happened, right? So this is free social marketing, okay? There were 4,315 impressions, okay? 817 media views around it, which I think is significant for something that cost me absolutely nothing. So the point, and I'll leave you with this. We've got about a minute to go only, Abdullah. How do we think innovatively in terms of planning a digital strategy? Do you do it yourself? Do you use somebody else? Do you just fly in the dark and hope things work out? You got a minute.
I think it's a beautiful question, Ashraf. The beauty of the world that we're living in is you can learn so much online for free. If you go onto websites like Udemy, like Coursera, you're able to study a course on digital marketing. You're able to figure out how Google paid advertising works. You're able to look at, in your case, how do I build a Twitter following? And so I'm going to encourage you to be able to go online and start to look at, and I'm happy to share many options, how do I study some of the fundamentals of digital marketing? In my view, as a business owner, it's easy to outsource, but it's much better to have a deep awareness and understanding in terms of what are you outsourcing and what can you do in-house, because we spoke about managing costs yesterday. And so part of what we've really got to think about is how do we, as business owners, continue to be in the learning zone, constantly learn. I teach at a business school, and I do this for a living. And yet at the same time, I'm currently doing a course at Harvard Business School, because you can never learn enough. And so part of this is to be able to go online and to start learning about digital marketing.
Okay.
And
Well,
that's
I'll tell
how
you.
to give you the tools.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's leave it at that. But feel free, by the way, from your side to tweet any of the links. You can just tag me and Salam Media. I'll gladly share that as well. Anything that you think that we need to check out on, because I think it's that important. There we are. Abdullah Verachia, thank you for your time. The Strategist, you need to get his book as well. We need to talk about that some other time as well. Thank you for that. Right, let's move on then to, and we'll talk to him again on Monday, right? At the same time. Imran Chunara with me, the CEO of the African Muslims Agency. He's going to talk about personal excellence as always, but very important. If you don't have purpose or you don't know what your purpose is, how do you find it? Right after this.